Okay. Uh, I know I said I wasn't going to do another video, but I'm back now because I guess today they're going to be very aggressive in targeting me. My upstairs neighbor, again, dropping stuff on the floor. I was watching a video. This is on for one of my classes. Okay, let me flip this. See. Okay, so this is the video I was watching, and there's a person that's narrating the video, and certain keywords. Remember I said about certain keywords that they'll either hear a siren or a car honking, or the neighbor would drop whatever it is that they're dropping when it comes to certain keywords. If I'm reading or if I'm watching a video or something like that. So as soon as he says, let me go back slightly so you guys can hear it yourself, and I'll give you guys an example of this. And again, this is how exposing these things of what they're doing. So you see what he says when he says
rather converts the mechanical energy of moving air particles into electrical energy minus losses.
As soon as he says minus losses, okay, there was a car beep, right? Not loud, just a very short, quick car beep. Okay, and again, I've recognized these things because, again, this has been done to me over years and years and years. And so, also the neighbor upstairs, there was a particular other video I was watching. So anything, because remember, this is a coercive persuasion language, not language, but program. I was thinking of a mind control language program, but it's a coercive persuasion program, and if you hear that right now. And so sometimes they'll make you think that it's a test or you're in some type of competition. So with words like losses, lose, win, or window, or anything that has to do with an assimilation or have certain words or sound like, right? Win, lose, tie, first, second, third, gold, silver, bronze, any of these things, these words, right, or these concepts, right, is what they have embedded within your subconscious. And so if you're a TI and you're watching a video or you're reading a book or something, whether they agree, if they don't agree with what you're reading, then they will try to stop you from reading. And again, with the remote neural monitoring, what they will do is that every time you read a book, for example, when this started happening to me and I was reading Malcolm X's biography, they would, when it comes to certain words like revolution or revolutionary, or anything that they think can give you a feeling of upliftment or empowerment, they will use police sirens, they will use ambulances, fire trucks to deter you or to suppress those feelings or those thoughts, right? So this works. Okay, this is how this works and how they try to change your thinking. Okay, sort of like, for example, Kanye West. I use him as an example. Okay, if you watch the video that I showed you of Dr. Peter Breggin, that talks about what they were doing to community leaders in the black community, and how if they go into the hospital, they would basically try to brainwash them, because they couldn't understand why they're protesting, why they're speaking out against injustice, why they're speaking out against the negative conditioning of black people. They didn't understand that. Okay, I'm talking, when I say they, I mean white supremacists or white supremacy. Okay, those who are the continuing beneficiaries of white supremacy. And yeah, you hear the knock, right? I say white supremacy, so yeah. But again, this is what I'm talking about. This is, when I say certain things, and it's like it's automatic. Certain things that come out of my mouth, revolutionary, Malcolm X, or any sort of Stokely Carmichael, those type of people who had those type of revolutionary thinking. It's kind of ridiculous, but they've been able to use these technologies to do just that, to suppress the thinking of any black person, to use psychology, right? Dark psychology, to suppress the sort of mindset that a person would have when they're living in a system of white supremacy and the oppression of one's people and oneself. Okay, so this is how they're doing it. So when you see a lot of black people who are on this revolutionary mindset, and then 10 years, 25 years, or even 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, you start to see them shift in their thinking or changing in their thinking, right? To now become defenders of the white supremacist system and white supremacy, and not doing so consciously, but subconsciously through what they say and through their actions, which you'll see a stark contrast to how they spoke, how they behave, the people they were around, uh, you know, and again, this takes place over a long period of time. And what that does is that it basically um, reduce their influence on the people around them. Okay, that's what it does. So either they'll find some way of setting that person up, either they'll find some way of manipulating that people and people around them, or set that person up. Okay, in order to destroy their character, right? And in order to use that to uh, get the community to turn against them. Okay, this is what they do, and this is what's been going on in America for quite a long time. All right, they've been able to use psychology, they've been able to use technology, right, to shift the thinking of black people, right? Not just me, black. I'm not a black person, but black people in general. Okay, and being able to uh, section, right, those who they can use to be the gatekeeper and defenders of white supremacy, and those that they can use to be the I was watching a video and it says well-educated, obedient slaves, right? So I'm gonna just say that, right? And then those who are, you hear, the conscious, in the conscious community, even in the conscious community, they've basically learned how to manipulate each people in the conscious community to separate them from each other also, right? So it's a tactic they've been able to use time and time again, and we have to understand these things. We have to be more intellectual about these things. Okay, we have to, again, because of the, everybody wants to be um, right. Everybody wants their way of thinking to be the correct way of thinking, right? Even in the conscious community, right? So, and then whether it be men against women in the conscious community, this is a tactic that they've used, right? This is a tactic that they've used, right? So when you hear brothers in the conscious community speaking, nonsense. When I say nonsense, I mean meaning that they think that a woman cannot be a leader within the conscious community, because again, even though they claim they're conscious, they still have that patriarchy conditioning, right, from Western society, white supremacist society. Okay, and so they want to be the ones that women follow, right? But they themselves don't want to follow women. And you have women in the conscious community who believe that also. Okay, but I always said, within every organization, every structure, you're always going to have people who are going to be leaders and people who are going to be the followers of those leaders. Okay, and this to be the truth. It's like, you can't have, uh, you know, 10 leaders, right, at the top, okay, unless they're sitting on a round table and they both, but then even if that's the case, they're still going to have to vote on terms of decision making, right? And there's going to be a majority, okay, just like you have in the United States, you have the president, right, who seen as the figurehead. So they always you have to have figureheads or figureheads, I should say. But when you got thousands of people thinking that they're the figureheads, then it causes conflict. And again, this is what's been happening, is that everyone in the conscious community wants people to follow them. Okay, but they're not doing anything constructive to say that you should follow me. Okay, they're not doing anything constructive to say you should follow me. And it's hard, and I understand why, because again, white supremacy, what it has done to them, including, many other people of color. So it becomes very, very difficult. And like I said, especially with these technologies, especially with the technology that they can use to condition you without you even knowing it, whether it be psychological, right, coercive persuasion, dark NLP, or through the use of technology, silent sound spectrum, okay, mind control technology based off of microwave and radio wave frequency. And many people today still don't believe that, even though there's ample evidence out there. 1968, right? U.S. Embassy found a microwave signal, right, aimed at the U.S. Embassy in Russia. The diplomats there suffered psychological illnesses, neurological illnesses, psychological illnesses. Come back again in the 90s. The FBI wanted to use the Russian mind control technology based off of silent sound spectrum on David Koresh. Fast forward to 2017, I think, with the 2016, 2017, right? U.S. Embassy in Cuba, bombarded with microwave. U.S. Embassy in China, bombarded with microwave, right? So there are ample evidence out there, but you have to understand how the news, who is controlled by the U.S. government, how they bury stories, how they lie, and they get caught in their own lie, but people don't even see it. People don't even recognize it. People think that, oh, it's a story that happened and it just disappear. There's a reason why you don't think about it anymore. There's a reason why when they take it off the air and they don't really mention it anymore, that you don't think about it anymore. And a lot of it has to do with not just the psychology of it, but also because of these direct energy weapons, right? That can make you forget things. That can make you forget people. That can make you forget who you are. Okay? So, just again, like I said, this the fact that they monitoring my activities so much so now that every time certain words are being said on the TV, on the video, I don't even watch television. That's to tell you the truth. I watch YouTube most of the time, and doing my schoolwork. Okay, and so the fact that they're monitoring my online activities to the point where if there's certain words that comes on, they will start either my neighbor upstairs dropping stuff on the floor when particular words come, or put our sirens outside. It should tell you something, right? So hopefully this will be the last video today. Hopefully after doing this video, I'm putting them on blast, exposing what it is that they're doing, will shed some light, and maybe I can get the rest of my day to study in peace, or to watch a video later on if I choose to in peace, or talk to whoever I want to in peace. Okay? See you guys in the next one.